All right, let's go back to some football. We're talking about Lamar Jackson situation. The John Harbaugh and the Ravens general manager actually held a press conference yesterday, I believe. I think it was yesterday when they talked about where the team's at, because they Greg Cosell, what's his name? The offense coordinator, Greg Roman, I think his name is. The guy who basically made Lamar Jackson look phenomenal, and who knows, maybe that's Lamar, maybe that's just how the system works. He actually stepped away from the team, so they got to find a new OC. And they mentioned Lamar, saying how the GM mentioned how he believes that Lamar definitely wants to stay as a Raider. I think that's more so taking the pressure off of, are you guys going to sign Lamar to? Does Lamar really want to stay? I think that's a good PR move for the Ravens there. So are you buying what the GM said, that Lamar still wants to be the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens?
I think that's wishful thinking.
Really? Oh, okay. Why do you think that?
Well, I think Lamar is he's going to be wanted by quite a few teams. I don't think that just his value is high. I think there'd be a lot of teams that will want to give him a big contract,
Right.
So I think he's going to look around. Don't the Ravens have the right to franchise him once more?
Yes. They actually franchise tag him 3 years. For 3 years.
Well, he won't be happy if they do that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I don't think that's the best move on their part to do that, because he'll be, disaffected. He won't like it.
Well, here's the thing about the franchise tag. There's two different kinds of franchise tags. There's an exclusive and then a non-exclusive. The non-exclusive franchise tag is cheaper, but that gives Lamar the opportunity to shop around. And if someone gives him an offer, the Ravens have the chance to match it. If they don't match the offer, then Lamar could actually move on to that team.
Then that's what they should do. They should do the non-exclusive.
You think they should? So you think the Ravens
should do the non-exclusive franchise tag, let him shop around, see what offers he gets. He may not get an offer bigger than what they might be willing to pay, and then they could pay him that, and he'd be happy. Because if they give him the exclusive value, if they see the exclusive, he's just going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to make decent money under the franchise tag, but he's not going to have a long-term deal, and that's what he wants.
$45 million guaranteed for 1
year. He won't have the long-term deal is what he's looking for. I think they should test his market value that way. Do the non-exclusive.
That's a very, very risky game, though, because what if some team...
but it's not that big a risk, because if they get a contract that blows him away, right, then they wouldn't want to do that anyway. And if they do the exclusive, they know the quarterback's not going to be happy, and it won't be a good situation. So I think that's really the only option they have.
Well, here's the thing why I think it's very, very risky, because what if a team gives him what I think he's worth, and that's $300 million for 6 years?
Well, then if the Ravens don't think they're willing to pay $300 million, then they're out looking for a new quarterback.
But would you really do that though? That's something that I don't necessarily think is a good idea, because the Ravens fans are obviously super loyal.
Give him $300 million?
No, it's just $50 million a year. That was off the top of my head. It could be $250 for 5 years. He's more focused on the guaranteed money.
Who do you think? Who do you think is out there that wants him more than the Ravens do?
I'm taking a look here. The Baltimore Ravens have the eighth most cap space in the league, so they can get pieces around Lamar. But I think the Jets need a quarterback. 1,000% they need a quarterback. The Raiders could look for a quarterback. The Bucks, I would say they obviously need a quarterback.
The Raiders are going after Brady.
They can't pay him the money though. You have Tennessee that might go for him.
Tennessee, definitely. But I don't know if they have that kind of money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The money is the big problem here. And
Miami.
It's like what I mean that it's risky is that, yes, while the Ravens may be able to see what his value is according to other teams, you still have the risk of them overblowing the contract. You saying, well,
that's the risk they're going to have to take.
We don't want to pay that. We can't pay that.
The exclusive franchise tag is not the way to go, because it's going to just make him mad.
Right.
And he's not going to be...
we'd end up in the same situation we were this year.
He played under what kind of a situation this year? Just under his contract.
It was on the end of his rookie year. Nothing was guaranteed.
So nothing. So he's looking at, they could franchise me 3 years in a row.
Right.
And by then, my value is not going to be anywhere near as great as it is right now. So if they stop franchising him, I think he's going to revolt.
Well, here's the thing. The franchise tag this year...
With the exclusive
right.
franchise.
The exclusive franchise tag this year is $45 million fully guaranteed. If they franchise tag him 3 years... he'd basically be paid 3 years of $166 million fully guaranteed. So all you got to do is take the value of that franchise tag, add maybe 3 more years to it, guarantee an extra $40 million, get up to $200, and fill in the rest of the contract space with that.
Yeah.
And that's where the long-term deal comes in.
Yeah. So maybe they should do that.
I do think, though.
I think they should try to strike a long-term deal with him first.
They have to. They have to.
And they tried that once before, and they gave him a pretty good offer, and he rejected it.
Right. Because he looked at what Deshaun Watson got and said, oh, well, if he hasn't played in a year and he's getting this kind of money, and that
I think he's got even more of an axe to grind there. Look how poorly Deshaun Watson played when he came back.
Right.
He's getting that huge money. Yeah. What a mistake the Browns made. And a huge mistake.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. But think about what the Browns did, though. I don't know if it's going to continue on this trend, but they may have reset the quarterback market because Joe Burrow needs an extension. Justin Herbert's looking for an extension. Josh Allen already got his extension. He got an amazing deal. Patrick Mahomes got it. You have all these great quarterbacks that are coming into contract years. And if Deshaun Watson's getting, over $200 million fully guaranteed,
Joe Burrow's contract is going to be renegotiated here.
Well, they need to extend him if they want to obviously keep him. I think obviously you do keep
He has one more year on it, and then he's gone.
I think he might have 2, but you want to sign him early so you get him at a cheaper price.
So they may not do it this year. They might wait one more year.
But then his price may go up instead of because I think Josh Allen, he's making $45 million a year because they give him like a 10-year contract at $450 million. At this point now, if he's at the end of the contract, he may be on that $50 million a year thing. So you're actually saving a bit of money, and that's why the Chiefs went out very early. And
they actually got a good deal.
Oh, they got a beautiful deal. And the thing with
as long as Mahomes can play the whole length of the contract.
And I think we haven't seen that he can. He's going to be great for a number of years.
Yeah. So he runs around a lot back there.
Right.
So take a huge hit.
I'm going to be very, very curious this offseason what the Giants do with Daniel Jones.
They're going to resign him.
I know.
If I were him, I'd play hardball with them. They abused him. Right? They made him say, he's no, we're not going to give you the 5th-year option.
Right.
That was a mistake on their part.
I'm just wondering how much he's going to be
Maybe
worth.
It wasn't a mistake. Maybe it jolted him into playing better,
It could.
He knew, hey, I could be out of a job. I might not be playing anywhere. I better play well.
That could be true.
He's not going to just sign with them on the first offer, I don't think. I think he might test the market, see what's out there.
I don't think many teams will be calling up. Hey,
I don't think so.
I'm going to offer Daniel Jones.
We'll see how he plays this weekend. If he beats the Eagles,
that's going to be very, very impressive.
Then he'll be playing in the NFC Championship game, right?
That's going to blow my mind. If they beat the Eagles and they go into the NFC Championship,
they have a pretty good chance, I think, to beat the Eagles.
They are a very, very well coached team, and then that's large part.
Jalen Hurts didn't play well in the playoffs last year. He has a shoulder issue.
Right.
It's not fully healed.
Yep.
And, the Eagles had some kind of shaky games there in the second half of the season, right?
Yeah.
So I think you look at that and you look at the role the Giants are on right now, they got to be sky high after winning that game in Minnesota,
You would think.
And the Eagles, it's not like they're flying to the West Coast to play this game. It's just down the turnpike.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like 2 hours. 2 hours to Philadelphia. It's not like they can practice all week at home and go down there the day before the game. So it's not like it's almost like it's not much of a road game. And I bet there'll be a lot of New York fans in the stands for that game.
I mean,
there could be a riot at that game, right? The Philadelphia fans are wild.
That's what I was going to say. The
right?
Eagles fans
And it's a night game, right?
Yeah.
They'll be tailgating all day. By the time they get into the stands, my God, it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild game. I don't know if you'd be safe at that game.
All right, we'll get to those games right after this, but still to come, we're going to make our AFC and NFC
So
pick.
what do you think? Do you think Lamar will return to the Ravens or not?
The Baltimore needs to sign him. They need to. They have no other plan. I think if Lamar goes anywhere else, Baltimore fans, I think, Baltimore fans are very, very loyal. I think there's going to be a lot of uproar and a lot of hate going towards the general manager and even John Harbaugh for not getting a deal done. But I think the way the Ravens have been conducting themselves over this past year, I think it's looking more towards a tag instead of a long-term deal. And I think we may be in the same situation we were this year heading into next year, where Lamar's not happy. He doesn't have that security that he's looking for because for the second straight year, he's only played 12 games. He's not been able to stay healthy for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I just thought about it on the spot. You may be a little bit right. Maybe other teams, along with the Ravens, because I think that's a part why they didn't sign a long-term deal last year, was how healthy can Lamar Jackson actually stay? Because he is a quarterback that relies on his legs. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, they have the ability to be mobile, but it's their arm that's their main centerpiece there. Lamar's main centerpiece is on running the football. So that's why I think, and even then,
I think he's gotten better with the passing part of it. But I tend to agree with you. The others are better passers than he is.
He has like a couple games where he throws the ball well, but
funny release. It's like
well, Justin Herbert does too. Justin Herbert has like a sideways release. He got a bunch of balls batted in the Jaguars game.
Yeah.